Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's me, Irvin, with another retro anime first impression video. Hope you guys are doing well today. We're going to be talking about N.H.K, or Welcome to the N.H.K, to be exact. N.H.K ni Youkoso is the Japanese name to it. You can find this one, I believe, in Funimation. I have the DVDs to them, so that's how I'm watching it myself. But I believe it is dubbed and subbed in Funimation. And I think also you might be able to find it on High Dive. Don't quote me on that one. But anyways, this one is, man, this is actually better than I expected. It does have a high rating in my anime list. I think from my point of view, it is high at least. And it's retro because, well, retro to me, it's not really retro, but it's from 2006. See, it's before 2010, so I promised you guys that in this series I was going to get animes before 2010, and this one's not that far away ago, but it's been 14 years. So a lot of you guys were just born 14 years ago, or some of you guys were like me, like in high school, or just entering high school, yeah. So anyways, before I continue, a few things. If you haven't done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for all those who are joining in and subscribing. There will be a giveaway on September 15th, so make sure you don't miss that video. Also, guys, if you want to further support the channel, you can always join me on social media. TikTok or Twitter are the best ways to follow me. Lastly, guys, if you want to join the Discord, it is open for anyone. Check the description below. Okay, N.H.K, I watched the first two episodes, or the first episode and most of the second episode, and the reason I watched two episodes because the first episode was so confusing, and I didn't want to do a video of me just being lost. So I understood more through the second episode, and essentially we find this 22-year-old, and he is living a isolation life. In the anime itself, they call it a hikokomori, which is basically a person that isolates himself from the world so much that it's difficult to do regular social things like breaking routine or going out anywhere other than maybe the essential places. So this guy essentially has gone into this isolation. Now, the first episode, we learned that he was infatuated with this girl. He got beat up by middle schoolers, and since then he was kind of ashamed of his life. We also found out that this girl that he was infatuated with, she kind of brainwashed him with a bunch of theories, about everything, and he basically believes that people are doing things with way out there intentions. So he obviously is basically scared of the world. Basically, he thinks everyone is there to go against him. In the first episode, he meets this girl through this lady and this other girl show up in his house, and they're essentially trying to give notice to people that there's people out there that need help, like him. And then he ends up going to kind of prove a point, trying to get a job, and he ends up bumping into this younger girl a second time in the episode. And then a third time in the episode, the girl invites him to a meeting in the park, a park that he always goes on Sunday evenings. So it's part of his routine, and he ends up going. And essentially, this meeting is she's asking to basically use him as a test subject, and then her essentially helping him out with his social anxiety, I guess, or his social awkwardness. And he says no, and she says, well, I'll be waiting here every night. And he ends up going a few times, and in the second episode, he finds his neighbor is actually one of his friend. And the reason he finds out that is because his neighbor seems to play the same old dang song over and over again. And he gets so annoyed he goes finally next door and finds out that the guy that is there is actually the guy that he defended the middle schoolers from, which is why he got beat up. So it seems like every episode we're going to get more about his past life, of why he ended up being how he is. Because even the point of view of how he explained the story in the second episode, it was quite different from the first episode. The first episode really seemed like he was just trying to impress a girl. And now the second episode, we find out that this girl, they've actually had been in the same club together for quite a bit. And this girl was kind of bossy. And she was not basically the best person for him. And yeah, she basically just told him a bunch of theories over and over again and traumatized him. And really, the girl wasn't a big, I would say, part of his life. The guy, in fact, was a bigger part of his life because after he was beat up and got defended by him, he ends up joining the club with him in high school and looking up to him. So, yeah, the anime is pretty good. It's following this story, and it really is following Sato's. I believe that's the main character's name, and him leaving the life of a hikikomori, a hermit, I guess you can call it in the English terms, a person that just doesn't want to get out. It's been 4 years. I think he says it had been 3 years since he had dropped out from college, and I think it was like a year and a half or something like that since he really had any interaction with people. So he really, really is off from the world, and I think the girl's going to play a big part, but his neighbor as well is going to play a big part. And we've seen a little more things to the episode already, but essentially at this point he's trying to convince the girl first that he's not sick and he doesn't need help, and then secondly we're seeing that he actually does need help, and his life is how it is for a reason. I feel like his past has a lot to do with it. Obviously it does, but we haven't seen all of it, and I think they're going to reveal his entire story throughout the season, and I'm excited to see that. Now, I started this video saying that my anime list has a high rating on it. It has an 8.34 rating on it. It's pretty high for my anime list. I mean, any popular rating sites where a lot of people are able to rate it, most of the time it's kind of hard to keep animes up there up on rates. On ratings, sorry. So for this one to be up there at an 8.3 is pretty amazing. Now it is 24 episodes, so it is a entire story to be dissected, and we'll see what else is included to it. Now, I do see that it gonna be some comedy, obviously a lot to it. It is gonna be drama and romance between the girl and him, and there's also gonna be some psychological aspect to it, because I was very confused in the first part of the first episode, and I think they're gonna continue playing on that. And then secondly, I think there is some etchiness to it. His neighbor is a game designer, and it seems like he's very much into hentai. So there might be more etchiness that we would want, but at the same time, this is what the character is being built to be. So for now, I don't think I agree with the 8.3 for now. I think it is high up there. I'm going to give it a 7.5 for now. I might raise it to an 8. I don't see myself saying it's higher than an 8. But we'll see. We'll see. This might be a way better story than I expected it to be. But for now, I am enjoying it, and I probably will finish it in the next week. Or depending, with my family coming over for a whole week and a half. We'll see. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this. If you have not done so by now, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell button so you guys don't miss anything. I will be posting again a giveaway video for you guys pretty soon, so make sure you don't miss it. Thank you for your love and support again, and guys, like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.